Hi, I'm Amanda Mills.
And I'm Russ Walsh.
In Mississippi, we're blessed every day to see an incredible diversity of trees. Many of us have trees that provide beauty and shade for our homes, but more importantly, trees serve an important role in keeping our ecosystems and environment healthy. They return nutrients to the soil when they shed leaves and needles. They prevent soil erosion, improve water quality, and provide the oxygen that we breathe. Trees are certainly nature's recyclers.
Our woodlands consist of various species of trees that provide food and cover for wildlife, particularly for a bobwhite quail, a wild turkey, a white-tailed deer. Trees are also important to our economy in Mississippi. They provide jobs for the people that harvest the trees. They provide jobs for those that process them into wood products. Many of our homes and offices were made from wood products that were produced right here in our state.
Trees are a renewable resource. We can grow, harvest, and replant trees to make sure that we have plenty for future generations. And we don't have to have a great deal of land to grow and enjoy trees. We can plant them right around our homes and communities.
As you can see, trees are an important part of our everyday lives. But just like anything else, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. So let's talk about the 4 R's of tree planting. Planting the right tree in the right place, at the right time, and in the right way.
Russ, why don't we show them how to put the 4 rights of tree planting into practice?
Sure, let's go take a look at some different trees and some different sites.
What about the right tree?
Sure, we need to determine the right tree before we do anything. We need to determine, do we want a shade tree? Do we want a tree that provides pretty fall foliage for our yard? Do we want fast-growing pine trees? Do we want a tree that provides good wildlife food? So before we spend money, let's determine exactly what tree we want.
What about the right place?
We need to determine where we are. Are we on an upland sandy site that may be more conducive for pine trees or species like red oak? Or do we have a bottomland site that may be more conducive for white oaks or something of that species? Something like water oak that's conducive for multiple sites. So we really need to determine where we are before we go putting trees in those spots.
What about the right time to plant a tree? Is there one time that's better than another?
Sure. During the winter is really the best time. The trees are dormant, they're not actively growing, so we put them in the ground then, and when the springtime rolls around, they're able to go. Whereas if we were to put them in the ground in May or June, it may provide more stress on them, more stress on the root systems, may require more water, so they won't do as well. So really during the winter time is the best time.
What about the right way to plant a tree?
Sure. Depending on what species we're planting, we'll have different type of planting tools, and we want to make sure that we get the root systems in the ground in the right way. We don't want to what we call J-rooting, whereas when we put the root system down, it turns back up towards the surface of the ground. That'll kill a tree. So there's some things we need to think about to make sure that those trees go in the ground the right way and have the best chance of surviving.
Let's talk about the right way to plant a tree.
Sure. Whether we're talking about pines or hardwoods, one of the most important things we need to remember is getting the root systems in the ground in the right way. A lot of times when we have a failure in a tree planting, it's probably because of what we call J-rooting. So when you put the tree in the ground, what happens is that tree, the root system will stick back up towards the surface of the ground, and the tree will die after that. So we need to make sure that the root systems go straight down into the ground. Let's talk about planting both of these. I've got a common dibble bar here. You can see the flat blade. And you just put the dibble bar into the ground and kind of work a hole back and forth. A hole just big enough to put the root systems in. Just put it in the ground. Make sure it's not J-rooted. Put just where the top of the root system is flush with the ground. Then we'll just take the dibble bar and put it in the ground right behind the tree and just close the hole up.
Now this is a longleaf pine, right?
That's right.
Tell me about this.
The big difference in how you plant the longleaf versus a loblolly pine here is the terminal bud of the longleaf is right here at the top of the root system. So when you're planting this one, you just need to make sure, one, you don't J-root it, but also you don't plant it too deep, or the soil will cover up that terminal bud and the tree will die after that.
Now we've covered the 4 right ways to plant a tree. We've planted a pine tree. Let's talk about planting a hardwood tree.
Okay, when you buy hardwoods, you're going to buy them in one of 2 ways. One is a bare root like this one, like we saw with the pine, or you're going to buy a containerized hardwood. If you do get the bare root, you can plant them with a common dibble bar like we planted the pine, or you can plant them with a sharpshooter shovel like you have there. Same thing, you don't want to J-root them. I'm going to stop, put it kind of to the top where the roots are flush with the top of the ground and seal the hole up. If you get a containerized, you're probably going to have to go with something like a post hole digger. Dig the hole about 1.5 times size of the container. A lot of times if they've been in a container for quite a while, they'll be what we call root bound. So when you pull it out of the container, you want to kind of loosen the dirt up and loosen the roots up a little bit. Put it in the hole. When you put the dirt back in, you may want to kind of pack the dirt out a little bit tight so you get all the air out so the air doesn't dry the root systems out. Maybe a little more labor intensive than planting pines, but still pretty easy to do.
Let's recap. The 4 R's to planting a tree. The right tree, the right time, at the right place, in the right way.
Very good.
Are there any other important things we need to remember?
If you're planting a tree around your home, on your property, probably should plant it under a power line, on top of a pipeline, or a water line around your home. Just take precautions there. Ready to go get your hands dirty?
Let's go.
Let's do it.